Good morning, bruh. I didn't start the video until just now. I woke up and I was still really tired again, and I just figured I'd sit through it and then not make a video again, I guess. But then I was watching this morning and there was multiple times where I should have taken a trade and didn't take a trade, and I realized it's not even 10:30 yet. And so maybe I'll just start and even now go till 10:45 or something and just see how this goes. But right now, so this is this is kind of what I had on there this morning. Um, this is a 1 minute chart. This is the 9:30 to 10 o'clock range and 9:30 open right here. Um, so kind of like we talked about, I was looking at the 15-minute chart, and it wasn't really like, this the only swing low we had was the one we made at 9:30, and other than that, the only, you can call this a high, but the only other swing high was all the way up here. So instead, what I did is I went to the 5 minute chart and still gave myself this low, but I was looking at this high right here, and I'm still looking for these highs up here. Now, the things that I screwed up this morning. It's a little busy in here right now. Let me get rid of this. Um, all these red lines are the octants of the AM range, and then these are quadrants of what? London. Yeah, London session, I believe. So this 1 to this 0 down here is quadrants of London. So I have London ranges on here, and I have the AM ranges, and currently I'm looking for this high up here. Now, there's a couple things. Without I got think I sat down in front of my computer at like 9:32 or something, and I went to the bathroom, and I was in the bathroom when I was watching the first one, but it was an entry on the 15-second chart. So I'm looking. I came back and I saw these bodies along this 50% of London, right here, right above the first percent of fair value gap after 9:30. So I went down to a 15-second chart. Well, I was like, okay, well this was pretty easy. I mean, in my mind, you take the swing low, fair value gap, take the swing high by the fair value gap. You can really easily get this up to here. But the other thing was, it trades up. If you want that long, great. I happen to be taking a bathroom, but I think I would have been fine with this. Um, but then we're up here, and I know there's a fair value gap, and I think there's one on the 1 minute chart as well. Let's find it. Yeah, up. No, I think it's all this bullshit in here. So there is a fair value gap. Anyway, um, so then we get it back up in here, and then this on the 1 minute chart is a really, really hard wick down, but all that hits is the 50% of London. Um, that first percent in one more fair value gap one more time, and then trades up. Now, back on my 5 minute chart, where was I? Let me put this back. This right here was the first swing high I had on the 5 minute chart. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Back down to my 15-second chart, because this is what I was looking at. Once this traded up right here, I was like, oh, I'm definitely buying that fair value gap. This is these two lines. This is these are forget what the word is. A 0.75 level of the AM range and a quadrant of the London range. So is a confluence. It's a confluence of those two ranges, and then we left this fair value gap, and I was like, I need to buy that. I need to buy that. and then I never bought it. But even that right there, even just up to my most recent high would have given me my 38 handles. Now, if I'm being real, what the hell? Somehow my buy side liquidity thing got taken off. I probably would have tried to get greedy for something up here potentially. But I also am doing a better job at, okay, it's not 10 o'clock, don't get greedy, just wait, that kind of thing. So, I had this one right here. But the other thing, despite whether I had my take profit right here, I was watching this in here, and I was like, okay, well, here's our macro fair value gap. Trade down below the macro fair value gap. These bodies are staying below consequent encroachment, or just, it looked weak to me. These are trading up into 830 fair value gap. Again, on top of the 0.875 fair value gap, and I'm like, I don't trust this at all. And in reality, like, if you're, look, it's what we talk about every time. If you're bullish, and I still think there's a chance it's going to come up here, but I don't know for sure. But if you're bullish, it's going to go take sell side first. And so you have this swing low and this swing low. And these first couple of minutes, I wouldn't call this fast, but it wasn't slow. But, like, one thing that I like to see very simply is, and I know there's other entry methods that eventually I'll try and get better at, but, like, it didn't take the swing low. There was no fair value gap created or traded back into. All I can do is look at the strength of, okay, well, we're below the macro, we're below the 830 fair value gap, we're below one of the octants, and we're waking up into the underside of the octet, meaning we're weak, right? But it just didn't, like, sell me. But this would have been fantastic. I'm not saying, like, oh, I'm butthurt, I missed it, but, like, like, I'm still in here. This is my bias, but I'm still not trusting this to go long. Like, this looks bearish to me, but I don't trust it, and it comes all the way back down here. And then we hit the top of the opening range gap, wake out these, like we just talked about, and then trade back up. Now this is where the first time we got our silver bullet. The 10 o'clock open is right here, and we're already back in here. So this is probably one of those times where I just need to wait till 8:30, or sorry, 10:30. But hopefully this is a little bit shorter video. But yeah, I'm not mad. Trying to look on the bigger picture this morning from a range perspective and a logic perspective, I was like, okay, well, let me go to a 5-minute chart or something and throw these on here. So, Asia consolidated. Let me see if I can work through this. Asia consolidated. This is our Asia range. We took out the high of Asia. Then, beyond, after London, an early AM session, we're above Asia, above London, in a premium of a premium. So ultimately, bearishness makes sense, especially with this big opening range gap down here. So I guess everything that I've talked through, maybe you can just give me some insight later from a logic perspective. It's also Wednesday. We're way above our weekly open. So maybe you can just give me some insight if you have time to watch this later. Be like, you know what, your bias was right for a time. I thought that high was going to be taken too, but you're right. All from between Asia and London and where we're at when New York opened, I would agree with you that we are in a premium of a premium, and you're right, the opening range gap and the weekly open or whatever. But just give me some give me some insight, because I don't know. Part of the reason I thought this was going to be long here was if it actually is bearish, I thought it was going to be like possible optimal trade entry kind of thing. Get back up into that premium of premium if we're, I don't know, looking at this as our range, or maybe I'm looking at it too wide. Maybe this is our range, and we're, if this high to this low is our range, and we're just back and forth across the consequent encroachment in here. But anyway, those kind of questions kind of came across my mind, and so I just decided to start recording in order to get my thoughts out. That way, maybe I can get some help from you with it later. So yeah, I'm gonna just go back to looking at. I'm also pretty happy because regardless of the fact that I didn't start my video until later, I do think I did a better job at focusing and looking at what I was looking at than even mornings like before I started recording what I was doing. And so bruh. It's like I realize we're coming into 9:30, but like, I need a better understanding of okay. Hold on here. So this is my sell side. This was my London low. So if I were to change this to the low, well, if I pull this range from London low to London high, that's the range we're working in. We're still staying in the upper half of it, but it's not like, we're coming into a discount and bodies are respecting this 50% level perfectly. It's not exactly like that. But also we're up and down and up and down and up and down, and it's 10:27. I don't know. I'm just talking through my own thoughts here. I think you understand what I'm asking. We can just talk about it later. I'm just gonna keep going for now. So maybe I just leave this open until, the 1050 macro, and see if it gives anything clean or what. Looks like we just came down. But like, to where? Like, should I have had like this bullish order block marked out all morning? Maybe. I mean, it at least gives me something, and like I was watching this, but I'm not just gonna come back after a 10-minute rant and buy this. But also, like, after all this bullshit, it's still not even 10:30, and like I just don't trust it. Yeah. She's a dirty bitch this morning, you know? So 10 o'clock open, traded down, traded up, traded down, came back, hit it, traded down. Like, is this shit bearish right now, man? I don't know, man. I'm getting confused. There's too much going on my charts. I feel like I can build a case for why it would come up here and also build a case for why it would come down here and London low. And the fact that, you know, basically ever since we've opened, it's been I don't know. This is first presented fair value gap. Still staying above first presented fair value gap. But like even these gradients, like it's not, you know, am I supposed to pull gradients from somewhere else, a different range or something where these bodies actually are respecting something? So that's just the top of this fair value gap. Okay, I'm gonna. My mind, it's like I want to trust this. Now that it's after 10:30, came down this hard, and then the next candle immediately back up above our silver bullet again. On top of the fact that down here, everything we were doing was staying above that, above this first presented fair value gap, with kind of my bullish bias at least up to here. And so in my mind, I was like, I just kind of want to buy it if it comes back and hits this silver bullet. But now the other thought is like, well, okay, if we're in here, the candle closes and it comes back and hits the silver bullet, sure, I would have bought that. But now I'm nervous because the second it takes out this high, it's slowing down, which means either one of two things. This is still just a 1 minute breaker. This is the fair value gap, and you still buy the fair value gap above the silver bullet, above first presented fair value gap, above consequent encroachment of the range. Or it's just another breaker and it wants to take this swing high and then shit on everybody again who's already long. So it's, I don't want to guess, so I won't press the button. But like, goodness gracious, man. So if it does run up there, all the way up there, that's fine. But this is kind of an example. You've heard me talk about how, you know, this is an example, but it's a bad example because it's not like it turtle souped something super cleanly and then started its run up, you know, with a never returning to the fair value gap. So there's already that issue. Is this is just, you're gonna say it's not. This might be optimal trade entry from this run right here, which it probably is. But damn, man, I just know I can do better, bro. Regardless, it's, you know, still just trying to convince myself of things. But like, I know I should have got these 30 handles right here. I should have. This, like, I was so in my mind. I was like, I should buy this. I'm gonna just wait for this candle to close and just touch the top of the silver bullet, and then it never does, and I never get in it. And even if I bought it, you know, up here within this candle for 453 to 470, 17 handles. If I was more so convinced that this was the time, now that it's after 9:30, you know, to this high, like 40 handles or 50 handles. Like, but I'm dumb, man. Handles don't matter. I'm just lying to myself. The handles don't matter. I just need to figure out and not get confused. Oh shit. You're on your way here, man. Okay. Do 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 do. Damn, brother. So you know, I was watching. You know, I was talking to you yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna meet him in town because like my house is dirty, and it's embarrassing. And then you shoot me a message, and you're like, I'm on my way here. And now it's like, well, oh shit. Now I gotta get away from my computer while I'm trying to make a video and clean my house. You know. So, thanks. Just kidding. I missed my lawn because I had to go clean my house. That's okay. Oh, shit. Probably just should have ended this video when you said you were going to do that, because ultimately this was my trade. I got my questions out of the way, and whenever you have an opportunity to watch this, I would appreciate some insight. So until next time, or until I see you in a couple minutes, peace, brother.